so if he's mad, stuff goes shooting through, like, clothes under. So I just take videos and it's like this. It's like my feet and the door and like things shooting through. You seen those? Yeah. Or it's him and I'm in my office and he knows 4 o'clock is the time mommy comes out because I made work hours. I finally got help and and his hands are underneath the door and he goes, Mommy! Mommy, and I go, it's not 4 o'clock yet, and he's like, Mommy! And he just will yell outside the door. I also stopped taking phone calls at 3:30, so that's my admin time. But I share those things, and maybe they're not funny to everyone, but you know what, they're funny to other moms, probably, hopefully, or people like kids, and ultimately that's the people I want to attract into my business. So if you're sharing things that are heartfelt to you, or they're funny to you, I would say don't be sarcastic unless that's your personality, but don't worry about it not resonating because the right people will see it. Okay, it will speak to the right person at the right time. I is your interest. Like you want to share this all day long. You want to share what you're interested in. That's where you connect. Who's a dog person here? Raise your hand for dog person. Okay. When you meet another person, you find out they have a dog. Do you start talking about your dog? Yes. Or your kids. I think some people even more about their dogs than their kids, right? But you connect over common interests. I mean, I have a friend that was supposed to be here today, but she got sick, but we bonded at over diapers at a play date. It was called Blanket Babies, and that's another thing for moms of little babies, blanket babies. And I was like, why would I bring my kid? And he's like 3 months old. And I'm like, oh, it's not for the kid, it's for the moms. You talk to other moms, and you feel less crazy. But we bonded that we had the same compostable diapers. And I'm like, oh, we're gonna be friends. And she's a product user now. So, you want to share things that you're interested in. You want to share, like, do you want to do a ballroom dance class? Where's the one ballroom dancer? There we are. So, if you're going to go do something that maybe is a new hobby, or maybe it's something that you are like, hey, I haven't done this in a long time and it lights me up. Like, go out and connect with people doing the things that lights you up the most. Because when you show up as your best self, other people are interested in that. But share what you're interested in. I was for a long time not sharing, like, any other products because I was like, oh, well, I want to, like, save it for Isogenic. But then I realized, no, because then it seems really salesy when I'm sharing ISA. So now I share what I do all day long. I'm like, I'm all about non-toxic living. Here's the shampoo I use. Here's my shakes. I put this almond butter in my shakes. Here's my organic food delivery service. Here's my Isogenics delivery service. I'm like, oh, groceries show up on my doorstep. It's not just Isogenics. I'm like, I'm all about convenience and health. So share the things that you are using, and then it's not weird when you're sharing Isogenics. You just happen to be the only place they can get it from. Okay, so I'll tag Good Eggs. If you're in the Bay Area, Good Eggs is a great local organic delivery service. I wish they paid me, or whatever else. I mean, your hairdresser or your trainer. Another thing is when you share someone on social media that gives you a great service, and you tag them. Guess what they usually do? They allow that post on their Facebook or on their Instagram, or they reshare it in their stories. And guess what that's doing? Give you exposure to a whole other network. So I'd encourage people to share people often that are not in your business. Don't just celebrate your team. Celebrate your friend who, is got a promotion, or like I have a girlfriend and she's a product user, but she's always getting like top 40 under 40 in Forbes, and so of course I share that. And I'm doing it because I want to celebrate her, but you never know when someone sees that post and then clicks on your profile and starts scrolling, and they also need one of the solutions you're offering. So share things that you're interested in, share people that you're interested in all the time. Value. So value is, you can provide value. So this could of course be Isogenics. Like you could make it that every day, how many of you use like 20 products, right? Like I would encourage everyone, your homework is to write down every single product you use during the day. And then has anyone ever used the Isogenics product Fast Facts? It's one of my favorite documents because I am also a nutrition nerd and I can get into like way more than people need to know. Those product Fast Facts give you just little bite-sized nuggets that are super easy to share, but only share like one benefit, maybe two. Okay, so it's like, hey, I love, like we use the immune support spray. I'm like, oh my gosh, I love this stuff. We never get sick anymore. I give it to my kid. My kid is like the one kid that doesn't get sick at school. He's literally only missed one day of school in like a year and a half of preschool, which is unheard of. And I'm like, and it tastes great, and I'm like, shh. Or I might share a video of my kid literally. I'm like, he's like, Mom, and he's like, 1, 2, 3, we do 5 sprays. That's just because I feel like that works. So 5 sprays of this one, Mom. But we share, and so you're providing value. but don't just provide value around isogenics. What else do you know? What else uniquely are you skilled in that you could share, right? Because I'm sure that whether it's your occupation, you may think it's common knowledge, but there's probably tips that you have that you could be sharing that would bring value that people would be interested in. And when they start to trust you in one area, they trust you in other areas. If the only time you're providing value is when you're feature dumping isogenics, again, you're being a salesperson. And not even a salesperson, you're just being salesy. Okay? There's nothing wrong with being a sales consultant. But find the areas, like if you're a mom and who's got kids here? Okay, your child's 2, right? Mm-hmm. Every mom of a 1-year-old wants to know what she knows. Mm-hmm. Okay, people only want to know like what's 3 steps ahead, or 2, or 1. So share what you're doing, share what's working, share what you just learned. And with kids, every time you figure it out, it changes like a month later. So share what's working now. But provide value. If you listen to a podcast or if you read a book, be like, hey, here's my 3 takeaways. I have a book, it's Gabby Bernstein's called Miracles Now. It's like every chapter is 2 pages, and there's just great little takeaways. And whenever I'm intentional about reading it, I'll go on and do a live, and I'm like, I just talk about whatever she talked about. Super easy. So just provide value, but also another area is ask your network for their value. One of the, I think, top producing Instagram polls I've ever seen was Laura posted about vacuum cleaner recommendations. Yeah. And she got like hundreds of answers. She like screenshotted it. Dyson apparently is like, she asked, so whether you're on Instagram or you're on Facebook, you can ask your network for their recommendations. Well, it's nice to like be that person that's a go-to resource. Like I've always prided myself on like always having resources. Like ask me, I have a tool for you, whatever it is. But then I was like, you know what though, I'm not asking my network. And I'm not an expert in everything. I'm an expert in a couple of things, but there's a lot of things I don't know. So now when I'm like, hey, like what's the best leggings out there that are great for working out and are not like, don't break the bank, you know? I asked for the best nursing bras and I had like 50 responses. And I went, wow, I never even knew about this. But guess what you can do then? You put together the responses, maybe pick your top few, and then a week later you're like, hey, I pulled my network. Thank you guys so much for letting me know what you love. Here's the top 3 answers I got. And now you reshare it. So ask for value and then give value back. But people love filling out polls. They love answering questions. They love sharing what they're passionate about. And you know the other thing is if you do this either on Instagram or on Facebook, when they put down the answer, you know. So you can then ask them, or first of all, thank them. Thank you so much. Tell me more about why you love this. It starts a conversation. It starts a conversation that is not you cold messaging them saying, hey, I have an opportunity I think you'd be great for, right? I don't know about you guys. I built the first 4 years of my business without ever cold messaging. Now, there's a difference between starting a conversation with someone that I haven't talked to in a long time and sending a cold message that is a copy and paste, right? So be intentional about when you're starting a conversation about asking them how they're doing. But if you can pull them first, you already know they're looking at your stuff, they're engaging with it, and then you get into that conversation. Another thing I love, and this is something that I learned from Laura Stevens as well, is it's called Hug, Hug, Kiss. And this could be on Facebook or Instagram, but before you are gonna reach out to someone, or before you do a post, go through and like, and then comment on a few posts from someone. Either platform is fine, Instagram or Facebook, or even LinkedIn. There's very little engagement on LinkedIn. And do that with 10 people or so, and then do your post. It does help the algorithm. But what happens is I have people that I'll do a post, and then I see who likes it. If somebody comments, I reach out to them and I say, thank you so much in a private message. Thank you so much for for commenting. I really appreciate you supporting what I'm saying. Just thank you for being a kind person and loving on my social media. And you know what people say? Oh my gosh, it's so crazy you reached out. I was just thinking of you. I'm like, well, yeah, because you just liked my post. But people are like, oh, you just reached out. I'm like, yes. So I've had people that I have set appointments with because they responded or they liked a post right then. And then E is educate. So this is a little bit like value, but E is really our chance to educate someone on what we're offering, on the products. I mean, we can do that all day long, although I wouldn't do a product post every day, on the benefits, on the lifestyle. So I want to have everyone do a really quick activity. Everyone's got these